Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Our main character is Raito Mizuhara, one of the students at the Department of Advanced Technology. His girlfriend Erisa is studying with him. The boy decides to tell his feelings about the girl. On the eve of Judgment Day, Raito suffers from a terrible illness and has to go to an induced coma for 5 years to wait for the cure. Waking up, the hero sees exactly the same girl who put him to bed. She tells about a virus that has hit the whole world. For every 5 men, there are 5 billion women, and each one comes to them to survive and get a chance to get pregnant. Raito was shocked by this news and does not want to give away his flower, but if he agrees, then all women will continue to live in poverty. The hero is given a month to find his lover, but he must sleep with every girl his agent chooses. The agreement came very soon, and he decided to act. The next morning, Rath is offered the best dish and does not refuse anything, wishing only one, that today he will definitely take his dignity in hand. In the hallway, he meets another male who is very pleased with his life as a rabbit, offering our hero not to shun women and get high during the general chaos around. When he came to the shower, his first woman was a Kana, but he immediately snatched into his room, where another nice girl Sui was waiting for him, who for some reason was making up her surnames. So the last girl also decided to lie down with him. Raito did not miss and stayed like a rock all night. In one of the offices, an accident occurred. A bear ran away and even wounded the hero, but Sui quickly solved the problem by formalizing a blow to the head. Unfortunately for all the women of Japan, the kid decided to become a scientist and look for a cure for the virus. This interested important people and decided to organize a war within a few days. School bullying is on the agenda, and we're being shown a new hero named seduce. His classmates don't like him and they make fun of him. And it's because he decided to save the poor guy with his own skin. If you don't do good, you won't get hurt. After all the horror he has experienced, they have found a sore spot that is not yet in power to defeat, and therefore decides to put him in a coma. So he woke up a few years later. Agent Karen has told only superficially about the current situation in the world and tries to set him up with new classmates, but he tries to understand himself and what is going on in the world at the moment. In gym class, she introduces girls whose performance is very good and can be attractive. Still doesn't find the idea of being with someone nice and wants to figure out what to do next. She takes him to a teacher who was kind to him at the last school. In the hope of breeding, Yuza tries to gently get a flower from him so that his pain in the soul will subside. Agent Karen brings the set into the pool as he has been out of stasis for a week and has not yet started training. He's doing a couple of exercises with the other girls, and then it all flows into swimming lessons. The girl Typhus did not share the boy Sakura and decides to take off part of the clothes to spite the rival. Our young basketball player couldn't stand it, so she sent her flying around the pool. In the results of the race in speed, Natsu won and moved for a week to Sita. But, as Karen said, all to breed. By morning, Seth asks to dress the girl, as she comes from a wealthy family. At dinner with Karen, she invites him to spend more time with her and preferably in the bathroom. In the meantime, Reith's been going on every channel and talking about how great he is, that he's developing drugs for the virus. Everyone tries to talk to Yuzo, but Yuzo asks him not to dwell on her. Otherwise, everyone turns on her. The hero invites Karen to investigate the world. She reveals that the whole school was built so that he could reproduce and spend time with girls for the future of humanity. Ria speculates about whether he should fertilize others, and at dinner he shows new technologies to other girls. But Ria intervenes, who calls him a pervert, and says he never misses a skirt. At the meeting, Reith is notified that his agent has been fired and that now Ria will take care of him, as well as Maria. Together, they go to the hot springs. Ria is against the main character bathing with everyone else. He asks to be taken to the wife of the first person infected with the virus to understand what the patient was doing before the illness that led to it. The woman didn't want to talk about her husband, saying he was a pervert and probably had sex with every girl who cared about him. Ria came to the defense and explained the situation. After a brief conversation, she agrees but asks to come the next day. The woman knew Reith's girlfriend and even begged her to go to him as soon as possible, but she waved. Even if someone loved him, she would still not leave her feelings for him. That night, she was given a lethal injection that led to her death. The main character was given a letter from an elderly woman, which she asked to be delivered if anything happened to her. The whole team goes to the hospital where the first patient with the virus was. Unfortunately, apart from the refugees and the state's criminal attitude towards them, they found nothing. Meanwhile, Kedzi was drowning in the lady's arms, but soon it got boring and he wanted a light, so he asked the agent for a favor. She was supposed to bring Reith's sister. At the meeting with her brother, they only came to a compromise. She would have to spend time with him. At the cafe, Maharu is indifferent to Kedzi and rejects him. With Reith, she returns to headquarters, where she continues to try to investigate the virus. By hacking into the archives, they learn that maybe that's where the virus was created, in the very first hospital where the first patient was. Seth's still doing great at her new school. Karen announces a new week of Seth's stay and hosts a contest in which the paper and mug wins and has the great honor of sharing Seth's room. Unfortunately, one of the school's high-heirs won the victory, and it reminded him of the bullies who bullied him about what he was running away for. He meets Shunka in the teacher's lounge, pouring out her heart and soul. She offers to be his roommate and he agrees. In the room, he meets the cheeky Gyara and apologizes for the inconvenience. The same, in turn, is very unhappy with his attitude. He decides to go out alone to get some fresh air. Akira joins him, with whom they later have an intimate moment. With every new girl, Seth knew he was going crazy and couldn't think straight. We are shown the memories of our grandfather inside the boy, where an unenviable fate awaited him on the roof of the school. By the way, there she sat down to dine his girlfriend Shin, watching him get bullied. In the new world, she asked him to have sex with her for the sake of her career. If she became his chosen one, she could become an actress. He created the same conditions as at the last school, but already in his place was Shin. After he asked Karin to bring another girl to him at school, it was Erika who was bullying him with the company. He doused her with water, then made her lick the bruises that her boyfriend gave him. While Seth rests, the government of another country is already preparing an invasion, sending one spy into Seth's classroom to get information on all the men. Unfortunately, she refused the hero's pleasures under the pretext of a hard day. Meanwhile, Rita moves the plot and learns that the head of the Ministry of Technology created this virus. They are rescued by Chloe. Unfortunately, I cannot show her. YouTube such girls will not approve. As it turned out, Japan was hiding its only man from others, which led to an increase in terrorist acts. There was an explosion in the dorm, and Seth went to the hospital. Karen was afraid she'd lose her job, but luckily it worked out. On the roof of the school, she told him of a plan in which he would become the chief man on Earth, and she would take the throne and become ruler of the world. Karen suggests that Suda lie in a cell to reduce her youth, so that his body becomes older. He agreed, and he's already meeting us later in the room with the justice fighters. The terrorists had taken over the television and then our rave. Fortunately, the heroes managed to escape by ship to get to the island with Erika, and he succeeded. Kedzi stayed with all the women he knocked up, and Seth went completely insane and thought his main goal was carnal pleasure. And if you like my retelling, for example, this video and watch The Porridge. Thank you all for watching, friends, until we meet again.